Facebook Live. And let me get the special guest on the screen real quick. There he is, my man, Mr. Roy Castro. Not to be confused with Fidel Castro. That's Roy Castro right there on your screens.
All right, you just lost like our millennial audience like right away, dude. Like right off the bat.
It is what it is.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry,
anyway.
What was it that I did?
Not you,
it was nothing. It was nothing you did. It was nothing you did, Roy.
And right next to me, I have Mr. Henrie here, also in the podcast. And introduce yourself to the camera. Yeah, we keep letting him talk. He's gonna go through the whole hour, guys. So we're gonna let him talk for a minute. Let's talk to Mr. Roy Castro, man. Dude, I am so sorry. I did not know you were located in L.A. I could have sworn you're from the RTV. That was my bad.
You got to excuse him. He's geographically inept. You're down the street, right? You're just down the street.
Everybody, right? You're going to be in the podcast, right?
So, well, I have family in the Rio Grande Valley. That's why you probably thought I was from there, and I was just there at the South Texas International Film Festival, yes. So that's probably also why you thought I was there.
Yeah, that was a great experience. Anybody who did not get a chance to go, you guys have got to go out there and experience that next year. They have it up and running, and it's interesting and it's free. Everything in there is free. You go out there and you check out Mr. Castro here. He did an awesome session, a makeup artist session that was he created the Llorona that was there. That was some crazy stuff, which, by the way, I did present her with a liquid death at the end of the day. And she proudly accepted, though I took off with it afterwards. But anyways.
In exchange for your soul, here's a liquid death.
Are you talking about the girl that played La Llorona?
Yes, that was awesome, man.
What you gave her liquid death?
I gave her a liquid death.
What is liquid death?
That is the can of water that we had there at the.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So you know who makes it, right?
There you go. Don't
you?
No, I forgot.
Liquid Death. You don't remember?
I forgot.
I thought it was you or Alex who knows.
It might have been me, but I forgot.
Yeah.
Liquid. Who makes it? Oh, I thought you knew.
No, it's like some skate. It's like some. Who is it? It's like some skater or something.
I heard that Liquid Death.
I thought we were having.
I think they made it for folks that are metalheads that want to go to metal shows and want to drink, but they're trying to stay sober.
Yeah.
So they have that can of water.
The can is cool, man.
It works. I mean, it looks like a badass can of like whatever.
Plus like water out of a can for me, like it hits different.
It really does. It really does.
Yeah.
And I know Mr. Henrie Hill here also. I know you were gonna be part of the South Texas International Film, but the entry was late.
Yeah, we were just a little late. I don't even know by how much, but I definitely know we're definitely late though. Yeah, for sure. But this next year though. Next year.
Man. Yeah. And we were talking earlier hand that I know you actually have a couple of clips. I saw some of the clips you have that you're actually a skateboarder also, right?
Yeah. Both me and actually Albert.
Yeah, pretty much everybody that's involved in our film
in our production company, everything. They're
involved in skateboarding. Mm-hmm. That's how everybody met. Like that's how this whole thing pretty much started.
Background kind of. When did you start? I started like 15.
Oh man, me too. Probably about 14. But I'm 34, like 20 years ago. Damn, 20 years. Like, shit. Yeah. On and off. But I mean,
that math just happened, huh?
I barely realized
that's just excusing Mr. Castro here, because I know Chris King said that you were a pioneer, and she was saying going on and going. You're like, well, I'm not really that old. But she meant it in a good way, Roy. She meant it in a good way. You really meant it in a good way.
Yeah, you gotta excuse these kids, Roy. I mean, they just got no.
And I know, Mr. Castro saying that he got into the makeup thing at a young age. It's something about Godzilla, I believe it was.
Yeah, that's right. When I was 7 years old, my father sat me down in front of the TV and he said, "Son, watch this. You're really gonna like it." And my father knew. He knew what I liked. He was a big inspiration for me, and he knew I liked, dragons and dinosaurs. Just like it's Joe Castro, by the way.
Oh, Joe! I'm gonna say Roy. Oh my God, Joe! Thank you. I'm not calling you. You know why I'm calling you Roy? Because my brother, he's been talking
Come
to me
on, man,
always.
that's your special.
There you go, bro.
Yeah.
Joe.
Joe.
Joe Castro.
Castro.
That's my bad. I
There you
changed. There you go, buddy.
This
Joe Castro.
It's all good.
Yeah.
You're lucky this isn't the credits rolling.
God
in the film,
dang, bro.
Perfect.
Perfect. Just freaking
This
perfect.
is
I
It's
got
actually-
everything.
It's actually Jose Manuel Castro,
Oh,
but
no.
I changed my
Now
name to
gotta go
Joe
in and
Castro.
Type
Back-
everything out, Joe.
Yeah. I changed it to Joe Castro in 1993 when I directed my first feature film. Because everybody used to call me Joey, but I didn't think Joey Castro sounded good for a director, so I
Right.
changed it to Joe Castro. And but no. Anyway, my father,
Joe.
my father said, "Son, watch this movie. You're really gonna like it. It's the first movie I ever really sat down and watched by myself. I was 7 years old. It was 1977, and it was Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. You know, I didn't know anything about special effects when I was 7 years old. But when I saw the film, when I was done, I asked my dad. I said, "Dad, how do they do that?" And he literally sat with me at the end of the film, and as the credits rolled, we found the name of the man. You know, it was a Japanese name. So this is he said, "See, son, it's special effects. That's how they do that. They do that with special effects." And I knew instantly, that's exactly what I wanted to do when I grew up. And from that moment on, up to this very moment, that's all I've ever really done is pursued a career in special effects. And
I've
yeah,
seen some of the stuff that you do, man. It's some interesting, especially with that zombie with an open hole in the middle of its head. And that was awesome, man.
Which what was it again?
That I think it's a zombie that's on the floor. You're taking a picture with him with a big old gash. In the middle of his head.
His brain coming out of his head. Yeah.
That was what movie was that? Barn or something like that?
That's for the Barn 2. It's just now having its world premiere. It just had a world premiere, and it'll be out on DVD and all streaming platforms in October. But it's a sequel to a very successful film.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I mean, and as far as the whole event that happened, what was it, like 2 weeks ago or a week ago? 2 weeks ago, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, did you get any insights for? I mean, I know Josh was there from The Walking Dead. Any collaboration with him along the way or something like that?
You know, you're talking about at the film festival?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, meeting up with like Pepe and Kenneth, the actor, and I believe it was I forget the other name, the other director that was there. But you know, I always have a blast going down to the convention or the festival because I get to meet so many people in South Texas, very talented people, and of course, I'd love to work with all of them. But I'm based in Los Angeles, but people fly me all over the United States, all over the world to work on their films. So you know, I'm up to working with anybody, anywhere, at any time. It doesn't matter, you know, where you're making a movie. If you can get me there and get me on the plane, I'll come make a movie with you.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
Henry.
I'm booking you a ticket already, Roy.
Roy, it's Joe. Leave me alone, man.
No, good for you, man. Don't let him forget it.
Don't let me slip on that, man. Joe's like, yeah, I'm never coming on this damn podcast ever again.
Hey, at least anybody that watches this will absolutely remember my name now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Don't even be surprised, man. They might still watch it.
And as far as anything in the future, do you have anything coming up? I mean, anything we
Oh, you mean stuff that's coming out? Okay, well, here we go. Hold your breath. Now here we go.
Well, I can't go that long, man. You know.
So on October the 22nd will be the world premiere of a movie that I actually star in as an actor, and it's called Appetite for Sin, and it's directed by Latino male. His name is Matthew Vinaja. It's his first feature film. It's a great little movie, and I also get to do the special effects for the movie. It's going to have its world premiere here in Los Angeles. And then there's another film, and I can't tell you how I'm associated with it because it's kind of hush hush, but it's called The Once and Future Smash, and it's a mockumentary style documentary, and it's directed by Michael and Sophia, and also produced by Neil Jones. There's another film called End Zone 2, which is also associated with the Once and Future Smash, and I believe it's going to have its Los Angeles premiere on the don't quote. I think it's going to be on the 19th. Then, of course, there's going to be Terror Dunes Part 4, which is a franchise that my partner Steven Escobar, my husband Steven Escobar, and I own. and that's gonna. Yeah, he's over here. He said, "Husband, not partner, husband." We've been together for 24 years, and we just got married.
Hey, congratulations!
He's from Edinburgh. He's from Edinburgh.
Oh,
so that's why I said I have family. That's what I was saying. I have family there. My mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and her husband live there, and so I have family there now. And we own a franchise called Terror Tunes, and it's Terror Tunes, Toons. Google it. If you've never seen the original film, it was a very successful micro-budget movie. We made it back in 2001. We spent $2,300 on the film, and it sold 50,000 units in the first 2 weeks.
Right on.
And it's sat right on the shelf next to Pirates of the Caribbean. It's got a pretty big cult following, and this is the 4th sequel to it. So we're going to have the world premiere November the 11th, and then on November 9th here in Hollywood is going to be the premiere for another film that I created the special effects for. It's called That's a Wrap, and it's produced by Joel Netter and Marcel Waltz, 2 amazing young film directors here in Hollywood. And I could keep going. There's a lot of really cool stuff coming out. I'm looking forward to. There's Tin Roof. There's a movie called The Pig Killer that stars
that's the
Pig Killer star Jake Busey, and it's based on a real life serial killer, Willie Pickman. He was this guy that used to he used to take he used to have these raves, these like hillbilly raves on his ranch. And
oh shit, a hillbilly rave?
He would hire all these prostitutes to come and entertain his guests. Yes, exactly. He'd have all these. It was like a hillbilly raves, and he'd hire all these prostitutes to come and entertain his guests. And then he would kill them, and then he would put them in a mulcher and feed them to his pigs. And it's for real.
Damn!
That's like a real story. So, in fact, can you see the pig behind me? There's the pig. One of the pigs right there.
Yeah.
I know why you should blur it out. Yeah, what's that?
Oh, wow.
Oh, dude.
It's a little hinge of the pig back there. Anyway,
it looks a little different on that one.
There you go.
So there's a lot of cool stuff coming out. I keep myself busy, and if everything goes well, there's going to be a couple of other sequels in the works happening. Right now, there's a movie out on all those home streaming platforms, and it's called. I forgot what it's called. What is it? What's the one with the?
You see, I'm not the only one, man.
Oh, I forget. Is it? What is the film, Steve? The one that Chad directed. The one with the scalping.
Oh shoot!
Oh no, the other one. There's another one. Oh gosh, I forgot. I'm gonna get in so much trouble now.
Henry's already googling it.
It just came out, and it's doing great. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be in so much trouble. Hold on, now I have to go to my Facebook page just to figure it out.
You gotta go. I gotta go and change freaking names out right now.
Let me see here. I mean, maybe if I go to my
quite a bit of stuff on your schedule already that's gonna be coming out on different platforms.
Yes, I got quite well stuff that's out right now, and then stuff that's coming out. It's called Nightcaller.
Oh, dude, I think I saw
very successful film. It's been received very well by all the reviewers and been in so many film festivals. But it's a really slick, high end kind of with a really good story slasher film. If you like the old 80s style slasher movies, you're gonna really like this one.
Yeah,
it's out right now. It's called Nightcaller, and it stars a whole bunch of which one? Oh, Bailing. You know who Bailing is?
Bailing, yeah.
Bailing, and the guy that is the star from the movie. Hold on. Steve Railsback from. Have you ever seen that movie? Jesus Christ, I forget. Life Force. Ever seen that movie?
Life Force.
He's the star of the movie Life Force, and he's in Nightcaller. And I was like a super fan on set. So when I got to see him, I'm like, grown man, whatever. And I'm going over to this other grown man, and I'm like super fan, and I'm like, I'm like, hey, I didn't know how to say I'm a big fan to him. Working on the movie with him, but I'm like,
right.
Starstruck.
There you go.
So I just grabbed him and said, hey, I put my arm around and said, hey, can I take a picture with you? and I just told him I love his work in line force, you know. And it's the same thing with Jake Busey. I just worked with Jake Busey on the Pig Killer. He was in the original Starship Troopers, which is one of my all-time favorites.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, I didn't know how to approach him, so I said, hey, you know, do you still get a lot of love from Starship Troopers? And then he's like, yeah, that are the Frighteners, and you know, we opened up a conversation, and I just, you know, I get real honest with him. I'm like, hey, I just want you to know I'm a super fan here, and I'm kind of freaking out on you right now. I hope you don't mind. I'm fanboying out on you, and they love it. So, you know, I mean, I work with all these people that I grew up with, and it's, you know, it's still, it's fun. You know, it's fun to be around them and to tell them how much you appreciate them and how much they've inspired you. And
well, you as the makeup as a special effects guy, you play a pretty integral part of every role. You know, you help create the character too.
Yeah.
So I would think that, you know, they'd want to be like as amiable with you, you know, just, you know, setting aside if they're good people or not.
right.
You want to build a relationship with your team, you know.
That's very true. I appreciate that they do spend the time to talk with me and to let me know their like angst about having, you know, heavy makeup applications put on their face. And I think most of the people in the business that I work with realize after doing this for 40 years, they can like literally trust me. They trust me. I mean, I will like show them things in advance to make sure they're comfortable with the look on their face. You know, I'm always talking with them about what works for them, what's comfortable for them. And I make sure that they're involved, because if they're involved, then I know that they're going to be happy with what they're wearing, and it really will show in their performance.
If you have
Absolutely.
questions, I mean, don't be afraid of it.
I'm more interested. I mean, like, because when I worked in like background and acting, when I used to live in Los Angeles, you know, I never got to work with like heavy makeup artists. It was always just basic kind of stuff. You know what I mean? For like, you know, doing background parts or whatever. So I mean, it's more so interesting to me, and so I'm totally just listening. For sure. I'm like learning stuff, whatever he's saying, because I mean that's kind of where I kind of picked up on more professional production and started doing what we're doing over here now.
Right. And when you
working in background on like bigger pictures with like Sony, Warner Brothers, you know.
Right. And what inspired you to get into the directing thing, the whole movie making?
It was just more so. I mean, I think it was just an accumulation of like everything since from when I was talking about like when we were skating back in the day, and like we used to just like pick up cameras back at the house. And I think so. There's actually, I think it was like, I don't even know how old I was. I think we were like, I was like maybe 17 or like 16. I think it's 17. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I had made like this like super short film with like my brother and like my cousin and everybody kind of in the house. We were all in the house at the same time.
Right.
This is when I was living in Washington actually. And then yeah, that was kind of like, maybe it was a joke, I guess, you know what I mean, at the time. But then again, it kind of like, you kind of see where everything sort of like starts, and then, you know, later on down the road. So I mean, it was, like I said, it's just like an accumulation, like, you know, it's just like a whole collection of just all those,
just nourishing
all those, all those things that are just, just seeds already, you know, as is, and then just kind of growing into what it is now. So that's definitely kind of like where it all started. But yeah, when I was in LA, though, I guess back to what I was saying, like, and then like working in background and just, you know, doing foreground acting and in different scenes like that. I actually kind of noticed that you guys had Trejo over here on the wall. I had been I've been, there's a scene with him that I was actually in. It's the end of it's the last Rob Zombie movie that came out. So there's like at the end where they're like driving in the truck, and like they're all kind of in the back of the truck, and like he's in the back, I'm across from him in that scene,
right?
So it's kind of cool. But like at that end, like we all get shot, right? So so we're all dead in this ditch, but like it was never no like heavy makeup. So I was just like, I was like, you know, it was kind of very much so basic. So on that end, but yeah, to hear that kind of like those kinds of productions are like, you know, crazy. Those things are crazy.
I mean, plus, I mean, talking to a makeup artist here, the most we did in PCH was shave a dude's head like 3 times.
Like officially once. Officially 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we got to wait for it to grow back so we can film the rest. And now guess what? We're shaving it again.
Yeah. That's
and now we got to snip it a little bit to make
because of like the actual like authentic, you know, just kind of really actually being authentic about everything we did in the film. It took us like 3 years to go ahead and shoot it off.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's kind of like one of the reasons. It definitely was like a whole like waiting for hair to grow back and waiting for his beard to kind of grow back or do his thing, and that's
what I find very interesting about what Castro does and what you do. It's I would love to be behind the scenes just to see how it all comes together, because it's something very interesting to look
magical.
at.
Oh, it is a process for sure.
Magical.
Fun process though, but I mean,
because seeing Joe here doing the makeup for La Llorona that he had there at the film festival, I mean, that was just amazing. And just looking at it from beginning to end, you know.
Yeah.
And consider the fact that I was interviewing people, I would jump up just to go look inside when he was doing his work, and then when he's going step by step. What the heck was that? Oh, my phone. My bad. Step by step, you know. It's just, I know. It's
that
just,
happened right as
we're making fun of the ghost.
That happened right as the AC turned on. I full on thought the lights were just gonna go out.
Oh my
there
God.
goes the punch.
There we go. But anyway, yeah, just to see the process behind the camera, man, how it's done, the makeup work, the directing, all that good stuff. That would be something to really see. I mean, it's something interesting to be a part of.
It's I've always find it interesting. People's takes on particular types of movie shoots too, because when Joe was saying about how he's doing an 80s style horror kind of thing, it really struck with me, because there is kind of I've noticed that there is kind of a movement towards things like that. I don't know if it's more like a simplification, because you always hear like in special effects movies where like there's the uncanny valley where people just tune out because something about a particular scene, it's not rendered right, or there's something about it that just takes people out. I've never been privy to it myself, but I can see why other people would. And so like I'm wondering, like, when there's a more practical effect applied to an actor, if that really just helps to sell the scene.
Yeah.
I would think that it would.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely an audience for specific genres. 80s slasher films being a huge one.
Right.
I mean, I'm one of those. When I was growing up in the 90s, there was, Friday the 13th, and what was that other one, like Sleepaway Camp, and all them crazy, like, dude, those were like crazy ass
all the great
slasher films.
Were,
and they have that. I mean, they were made in the 80s. Right. And growing up watching.
I think personally, I think like 80s. When you say 80s, like an 80s slasher, that like they will hold on the gore longer. And there are things that they will do. They won't do in a slasher movie today, because like when you watch an 80s slasher movie, you can kind of pick apart how they did what they did, because they hold on a little too long. Today they won't do that. And also in today's horror slasher movies, we do hyper realism, which means that it must look absolutely real or they won't show it. They don't like to hold on to it if it doesn't look real. And that's kind of like that's just kind of like the genre we have today, hyper realism. But in the same token, you kind of like lose a little bit of the fun aspect of it because of that. So that's kind of like in the 80s, you can get away with doing something that's a little slightly cheesy or over the top. And in today's world, it would be just straight up comedy if you did that.
So I mean, dude, in the 80s, people were straight up. I mean, shit, I was scared as a kid too.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about 80s. When people are rediscovering the 80s slasher movies, they're like, oh my gosh, like they can't believe that how actually good it is.
Yeah, there's some 80s movies that still hold up to today that are even better.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
And even though all they needed was just a little finesse, maybe to clean up like edges and stuff like that. But ultimately the technology wasn't there. But like John Carpenter's remake of the thing still holds up today.
Dude, that's what I was gonna get at, dude. Like the thing that would trip me out the most was how the killer would just walk, and you would run. The victim would run and run and run. Like, and the killer would walk and still kill him. But like, dude, if Michael Myers is coming after me, I'm gonna run. He's still gonna catch my ass walking.
Yeah.
There was always a sense of supernatural element to any horror film back in the 80s. You can get away with that stuff. You can get away with all that.
Absolutely. Yeah. He just people were willing to accept. Yes, he would just appear, even though he was like 100 yards back.
Yeah, well, like zombies moved like at a snail's pace back in the 80s, right? But
Right.
yeah, before if you just blinked an eye, they were right on you, and bite you. That was what made it scary because it was slightly supernatural. It was slightly
exactly.
supernatural. Today they all run, some of them even roar like a damn lion. I mean, I no disrespect to The Walking Dead, but like they don't even look like zombies anymore. They look like monsters.
Yeah.
They don't look like dead people. They look like
great.
yeah.
I like that.
That's
awesome.
I saw a video where they're like getting the.
Don't shit on other people's process, man. All right, all right. Just because you don't agree with it.
Anyways, I got some fans up here saying, of course, we got Louis. Yes, I knew you there.
Why is he still?
I don't know. I keep blocking him. He comes back.
Oh.
But we also got Maggie Gloria Benavides saying,
"Oh, that's
Well, listen.
Oh, that says
Yeah, Maggie.
That says Vuitton. That's actually my clothing brand.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
That's another thing we're going to talk about also in a few minutes, man.
Yeah.
And also, no, Louis, there's no way he's going to make a movie about a plane place. Another one, Sean Logan. Yes, I'm here. I'm proud of you. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate you. I also got Gabriela Hernandez saying, hey. I got Christina Rocha saying, hey, Mr. Duke. I don't know who Mr. Duke is.
Anybody who no idea. You know what?
Mr. Duke? I don't know who that is.
You could mean Roy.
Maybe
Roy?
Roy's not here. It's Joe. It's Joe.
Maybe he means Roy, dude.
They go Duke Benavides right there. This is about there he is. How about Freddy Krueger? That's what he's saying. Also, yeah, Freddy.
How about Freddy Krueger? What
Dude,
about which one?
Don't even. Yeah.
Which one?
You can't even go to sleep.
No.
And I know we're going over the clothing line. I know you have a clothing line also.
Oh yeah. So that's kind of also too like I was saying earlier about like kind of everything being like a collection of things. Like that definitely kind of stemmed from all of that skateboarding and filming and doing kind of just making it more, just part of like everyone's lifestyle. Like we all I did start like it started kind of like in junior high, sort of high school, but like I was like kind of just making little pieces of clothing here and there, just like different things that kind of like nobody could kind of like really obtain, and then from that kind of just like started to mold into different more solid ideas, I guess you would say, like a substance like to them. And then I think after so long it just kind of just bubbled up to a point where just kind of started giving it a go, just kind of like taking like all of our ideas and just like things that we all kind of just like I mean, to be honest, it's the ideas through it all kind of comes from like everybody that we all kind of know. Like it's very collective, like through all the people that I know. Like it's just it's like a translation of like that life and just kind of like everything that comes with it. It's just everything that we've all kind of experienced and just little things into the designs that we kind of like do or like or whatever drops we have like. So that's that, and then that started, but like officially, like to make it like on a record, kind of, it was 2016, 2015 when we maybe kind of like actually took it, a little serious and kind of started, like actually gave it its name, and that was like I think around that time that's when like our first skate video actually released. It's called Booth. It's there on YouTube. It's been on there for like quite some time, but yeah, it's definitely that's kind of like the roots. That's kind of where the origins of it all is. But that's we just opened our store actually too. Our first store in Harlingen.
Really?
So we're on Jackson. Yeah, we're actually right there on Jackson Avenue and 8th Street. Kind of like right there in the middle. Like in that corner, there's a new Mercado, like a new shopping district. And so we're stationed there officially.
Yeah, I mean, what does the lifestyle brand look like? What is
so I mean, so some of the stuff's gonna be actually like the online store is gonna go also to live. I think we're probably looking at like Friday or something like that. And then but you can come, obviously, definitely come by the store if you get a chance. You know what I mean? See what we have right there. It's a very just kind of like trying to test the waters, I guess, in the area sort of thing. Kind of doing this after so long being online, like taking it to kind of to the public. Like we're just gonna kind I guess testing like the waters with the drop that we're actually putting out first. But then we do have another one that's actually going to be. I think we're going to release another drop. It's like a little kind of like a play on like an old design back from like the old. It's like from like the 60s, 70s kind of design, and from I'm not sure if you guys are like familiar with Malcolm McLaren. He was like the manager for the Sex Pistols.
Oh,
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
So like kind of like that whole era, you know what I mean? Vivian Westwood kind of time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of something that we're gonna be coming out with right now. I actually have one of the capitals on me. It's like
Oh,
the dog likes
yeah.
it. There you go. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, you got stuff with Mickey on my son. Love that.
So like we're doing that like probably close towards I want to say like October, like maybe like into like Halloween maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
oh,
yeah.
nice. Okay.
So that'll be coming out soon too as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about the experience of actually seeing the things in person.
Yeah.
Touching it,
Yeah,
you
You
know,
can go
Definitely.
actually go check
actually,
that out.
go check it out.
Yeah, go check that out so we can,
For
actually
sure.
have,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I think Mr. Joe here put us on mute. He doesn't want the dogs barking in the background anymore. It's okay, Joe. It's all right. We're used to. Chew tends to bark also, so we're used to the sound. But anyways,
Joe, is it? Is that your name, Joe?
Shut up, dude. Man, guys, we're gonna take a quick little commercial break because we're coming out 32 minutes already.
Okay.
We'll be right back, and don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere, Joe.
Joe. Don't go anywhere.
Don't go
All right.
anywhere. We're gonna get our shit straight, and we're gonna.
We're gonna beat the crap out of each other. You're gonna see a Royal Rumble happen in a couple of minutes, so don't go anywhere. I think Henry's gonna be the special guest referee. So hang in there. We'll be right back. All right.
Cool.
Time to pay some bills, guys. Here we go. The Craft, Westaco, Texas, proudly sponsor the Chew New podcast. Man, you're looking for a good Friday night, Saturday night, or any time of the night. You want to head out to Westaco, look for the Craft down at the eatery, man. I guarantee you will have a great time. Ask for Miguel and let him know Chew New sent you. Hamp It Up, located in McAllen and Westaco, Texas. Guys, looking for something with anxiety, something to sleep and relax? Give Osvaldo and Mari a call. They will help you out. Just let them know Chewy News sent you. You might get something a little extra, you know what I'm saying? Beanie Wheaties, man. You cannot go wrong with this enchilada mix, man. I'll tell you what, right now, any kind of beer you mix in this bad boy, I guarantee it's going to be a party. Not one, not two, but 3 times a night. And she's selling gallons. Get a hold of her on Facebook and Instagram. Hurry up before they all run out. Smoke, liquor, and adult novelties? Hell, head out to the rabbit hole, bro. You will have a good time. They got a lot of stuff you can take a look at. And if you're interested, you can even start being a tattoo artist. They even have tattoo machines. Look for them on Facebook and Instagram. I guarantee you'll love it, brother. And let them know Chewy News sent you. Looking for a solid plumber? Give Paco a call, man. I'm telling you right now, if he doesn't answer, keep calling. He's always a busy guy. Let him know Chewy News sent you. And when you let him know that, he'll also tell you your crap is his bread and butter. Like always, man. Yeah. Summertime is here, man. The best way to cool off is through Rowdy's Pools, man. What better way to have your own pool in your backyard? Why go to the beach where all the crowd is? Never get that sense of relaxation and privacy? Get your own pool. Call Rowdy's Pool and let them know Chewy News sent you, man. Oh, big shout out to Serge, one of our #1 sponsors from the beginning. He's been here through all the episodes, man. There's nothing more than saying thank you. Any electrician advice? Give this guy a call. Let him know the Rockstar sent you. Watch out, bro. You got cravings? No, but let me tell you about this place out here, man. It's gonna get you every time. Hipsters, snacks, and more. Located at 2600 South 23rd Street, McAllen, Texas. Give them a call. Let them know Chewy News sent you. Once again, thank you to all our sponsors for sticking with us through thick and thin, man. We got a lot more show for you, so go anywhere, baby. Laters, guys. And we are back, guys. All right, where's Roy? Roy took off on me. There he is.
There he is.
Put
Here
your
I
back
am.
of the mic on there. There you go.
Oh.
All right, man. You can hear us fine there,
Arnie's wing.
Mr. Joe. I
Yeah.
said Roy again, didn't I? That's his fault, bro. He's making me say it.
It was too easy. Joe, it's too easy now.
I was gonna ask, do you know anybody who has a Guinness Book of World Record?
Anybody has Guinness World Record?
Not personally.
No. Why?
Well, now you do. Now you do.
Now I do.
2006.
Now you do.
Woo! That's right.
My husband and I have the Guinness Book of World Record for the highest body count in a slasher movie.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Really?
it's 155 on-screen kills. It's for a
Oh,
movie we
yeah.
produced in 2012
Oh,
called
shit.
The Summer of Massacre. Yep. Google it.
Oh, let me see.
Wow.
Are they
Is that official?
like
Yeah,
axe
Google it.
swing
Yeah.
or just
The highest body count in a slasher movie.
Damn.
Guinness Book of World Record.
I have to look that up. Joe, these guys are through the commercial where they were teasing me, bro. They were
Yeah.
teasing me. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get it right. Don't worry, buddy. I got it, and that's gonna be imprinted in my mind, just like with a paranormal. What I kept on saying, paranormal discord. I kept on saying that. It goes discourse.
That's
Yeah.
all right. That's all right, dude. They're only our partners in the
I know, right? Then we all
It's
partners in
fine.
the
Who
studio.
cares?
It's all right. Who cares, right? But anyways, anything big coming your way, Henry? Anything big is coming out as far as film? I know you got your clothing line coming around and everything, but anything big coming on for you to come up close?
I mean, Pacific Coast Highway, for sure. Pacific Coast Highway.
Tell us a
That's
little.
definitely the biggest thing that I have. Like, that's like a child, man. It's like a child to me. Like,
Really?
yeah, we've been working on this thing for so long that, like, yeah, it's kind of just a good experience, kind of letting it go finally. It's coming out soon. It's coming out November, around November.
November?
November.
And then that's going to be
We
released?
don't have like a set date yet, but we want to
Is
probably
there going to
shoot
be a
like,
special screen for it, or?
oh, we've been doing screenings all over Texas, all over the valley for the
Okay.
last we've been now doing a circuit for the last, I think, 2 months.
There's been a lot. Probably like
Yeah.
what, 6 of them, 7?
Every other
Something
weekend,
like
pretty
that?
much. We're in a different city doing another screening.
Yeah.
We've been promoting that since we actually did like kind of an original promote. We did our first kind of soft screening in Los Angeles and then came back.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because originally we wrote the whole thing in Los Angeles. I was living there with also to Alex Tapia, who's the other writer of the film,
Okay.
who lives right now in Los Angeles as well.
Mhm.
Is we both went in. It was conceived there, and we started filming it there, and really kind of just it formed. The most of it formed in that, and on that side of the U.S. And then the story kind of eventually grew into us riding into Texas, and so we came to Texas, and then eventually I had moved back actually, and we went ahead and just used that also to our advantage, which is kind of like being in the area, being able to use more locations, being more accessible to the area, kind of just being on this side instead.
Cool.
So yeah, and then eventually it's just then we wrapped it up after 3 years.
And as far as the movie, what is it based on, or what are we looking at?
So really it's it's a story about a guy that he's kind of like in lost in touch of his kind of reality.
Okay.
His like now, you know what I mean? And he's kind of at the same time trying to grasp what makes him who he is. He's at the same time losing that same understanding, that capacity for what he was.
Oh.
That makes a little sense. And it's a short journey of his migration from Los Angeles, going down the PCH, going up Pacific Coast Highway, where we start the film, and kind of making his way over here to Texas, and then but I mean, we don't want to go to get too deep into it, but definitely that's like because it's it's good. I mean, me personally, I think maybe it's just what people are telling me, right? But I feel like it's pretty good. People have been telling me that's. I mean, every time we hear reviews when we're doing there, we're
it's
on a scene. Yeah, we're kind of on
Yeah.
scene doing these screenings, and it's always you kind of hear people talking out the side, and it's like
Right.
it's been good. It's been good lately, man. We've
Well, that's-
definitely heard a lot of
That's
good
awesome.
feedback.
It does sound like a pretty good.
So yeah, it's got a
Catching
good
a
little premise.
little bit of a mental breakdown on film, you know,
Really?
kind of, yeah.
And are we
Yeah.
looking at you in this film as a mental breakdown?
Oh no,
No, actually-
I am the mental breakdown.
He
I'm the one
is-
causing the
He's the
mental
cause.
breakdown
He's
We
the
are
cause.
you're
of
the
it.
cause,
Yeah.
not the
for
cure.
the main
I
character.
think right now there's a mental
Yeah,
breakdown.
yeah. He's definitely the reason for the mental breakdown in the
Yeah.
scene. for sure,
Okay.
yeah,
A lot
so.
of mental breakdowns
And have you
from all angles.
have you tapped into? I mean, as far as like I know Joe's into the horror thing and everything. Have you ever tapped into that side yet? Or
So I mean, funny enough that she's
that you bring that up?
funny enough that you bring that up. Actually, that scene that we're talking about, I mean, we didn't get too deep into it, right? Because we really didn't want to, like, we wanted to kind of just more give, like, I guess the feeling of like something that was a little bit not out of context, but just out of character of the storyline, where you don't expect someone to die in this kind of little piece of a film, but then someone does die, and it was just like kind of like, okay, what the fuck, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Not a jump scare kind of way. Just
no, not jump scare, but just kind of like introducing death.
Damn, we should have done it.
And not throwing death,
Yeah.
kind of just introducing it. So, I mean, I guess if that makes sense for, to better describe that kind of the way that scene, that sequence plays out. But definitely, yeah, there is a little blood for sure. But we haven't taken it to a level of kind of just like
Not
heavier like makeup and stuff. Yeah.
Not the joke.
It would be it would definitely be interesting to go ahead and take to learn something out of that book for sure. Yeah.
As far as like directors itself, or making who do you idolize? I mean, who do you like? You want to get to that point to say, man, I'm that close.
I mean, I wouldn't say like idolize, but like I definitely take like pages from different books. I guess if that makes sense. And like for sure, Quentin Tarantino for sure. I mean, that's kind of been kind of a childhood favorite, kind of, I guess, growing up watching those. And then I actually I was an extra on Once Upon a Time. And it was the scene. I don't know. To be honest, I haven't even seen the movie. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. But there's a scene where Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, they get out of the plane. I think they're in like Rome or some shit. And they get out of the plane and they're walking through like the terminal of that airport or whatever, trying to leave to the exit. And there's and at the end there's paparazzo. And I'm one of the paparazzo, like taking photos,
Right.
and pulling the bulb. And it's like those old school cameras where you pull the bulb out and you throw it in the bag.
Right.
Okay.
And that shit was real, and my hand got burnt.
Oh.
And like, yeah. So, but I have photos from that day. To be honest, when we were at, like, we're not supposed to have those in holding, but I hope I don't hear from Central Casting at any time. But
you got what?
definitely, yeah. It was good working with him. That kind of just like solidified that sort of maybe like okay, I can definitely take pages from him, because like, seeing him kind of actually work and direct at the same time, kind of in real time, it was like, oh, okay, that's how that is. And then I don't know. I mean, I would probably say like, maybe like Wes Anderson for sure. Yeah, Wes Anderson.
I knew it was one
There
of the
you go.
Wes's, dude. I was gonna say the wrong one. I was gonna say Craven.
Yeah.
Wes,
Hey,
Wes
Craven.
Craven?
Either one.
You got Joe's eyes lighting up over here when you said Wes Craven. You thought you were gonna say Wes Craven.
Yeah. What about you, Joe? Who's your?
Out of all the makeup artists in Hollywood or wherever in the U.S. or in the world, which is the one you pretty much, like look at, like, yeah, that's where I want to be, or are you already there? Because the way I've seen stuff that you put out there, it looks like you're already there, man.
I've been doing this for 40 years, and I'm self-taught. I didn't go to school like a lot of these people do. Most of the people that work in all the big shows, they've all gone to school. They're all, they all learn the same technique. They all do it like a robot the same way. And I have my own style, my own set of tools, and in doing so, I have my own unique look. I have my own unique style. When people see my effects, they say, "Oh, Joe Castro do that. That's a Joe Castro."
Right.
But I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but there's just so many different things from so many different places where I've learned. I mean, I still learn from even people that are younger than me. There's this a young woman that I recently worked with. I still work with on a regular basis, and she's so full of she's also self-taught, and she's so full of information, and I just remain teachable along the way. and that's how I've become the artist that I am. But I mean, you know, if I had to pick a couple off the top of my head, I'd say Tom Savini, I'd say Rick Baker and Rob Bottin, and there's been so many though. I mean, Steve Johnson and Steve Neal and all these types that came where I grew up in the '80s with. They were all very inspiring to me. But ultimately, I have 3 mentors that I still kind of study with and I've worked with recently. There's a man, his name is Brian Wade, who is a genius sculptor, and he worked on John Carpenter's remake of The Thing back in the '80s. And during the pandemic, I had the honor of sitting with him and learning from him while he sculpted. And then, of course, there's Don Lanning, who's also just worked on the new Hellraiser movie, and I was able to sit with him, and he was.
There's
Hellraiser coming out. Yeah, man.
Did I say Hellraiser? I meant to say Hellboy.
No wonder, dude.
Hellboy. And then, but he's done Don's done so many. I mean, it's incredible how many movies he's worked on. But then ultimately, man, his name is Rob Berman. You're like, who the hell is Rob Berman? Rob Berman worked on so many movies. I can't even, he worked on The Goonies. He worked on the original Ghostbusters. He worked on Cat People, The Beast Within. I just go on and on and on of all the different movies that this man has worked on. And he's just a plethora of knowledge. And I consider him one of my mentors. And, so these are the men I respect and I strive to be like, when I was 12 years old, we used to have this thing back in the day. It was called 411, where you could call like a 411, and if you had the number and the area code to the city where you wanted a phone number from, they would give you the phone number to anybody who was listed in the phone book. Yep. And I knew that Tom Savini lived in Pittsburgh, so I called the 411 to Pittsburgh, and I asked for Tom Savini's phone number. I was 12 years old, and and I got the Tom they gave me Tom Savini's home phone number. And I would call Tom on the phone when I was 12 years old, and I'd say, "Hey Tom, how's it going? My name is Joey Castro, and I live in Helotes, Texas, and I really like your work." And he was very kind to me.
Oh wow! I wasn't thinking he hung up on you or something.
He was very kind to me. I got to speak to him for several years until he was already big then, but he super blew up right after the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Yeah. And he was a household name by that time. And he walked me through a lot of step-by-step instructions over the phone.
That's awesome, man.
What time I was like 12.
Take you under his wing to start a little
That's super cool, dude. I didn't think that story was gonna go that
way. No, he is a very, very kind man, and even till up to the day I met him. When I met him, he was like, at a convention, and I asked him to autograph. I have an actual copy of the Jason hockey mask hanging on my wall back here. And I asked him to autograph it, and he's got it to autograph it, and it was just all just so like personal and very he's just very kind man. He's a very kind man.
That's amazing.
Nothing but nice things to say about him.
Just you talking about the way you light up and talk, I take he's like probably one that you really, really idolize the most.
Well, that's why I saved the best for last, and everybody will remember it.
There you go.
Save the best for last.
And right now I'm gonna ask some questions right now. One that I didn't get to ask you at the festival, South Texas. So I'm gonna start with Henrie first. Henrie, quick question.
Sure.
When all is said and done, everything's on the table. You've done everything you believe you accomplished. How would you like to be remembered?
Oh man, that's a good question. I guess I could say my work, right? But maybe not just the work, but maybe what my work has rippled from, like what has rippled from my work or my existence and what I've done with all of what I've done, and just kind of like maybe the effect. Like the highest act is, I feel like the highest human act is inspiration. So
there you go.
Definitely kind of whoever can kind of take what I've done and maybe do it better. You know what I mean? Or like take it to another level that I haven't done yet, or just take it in a different direction, like playing around with subgenres and things that maybe are a little bit on the taboo end or indie side, and taking it more mainstream. That's kind of maybe that'd be kind of cool. It doesn't have to be film. It could be anything, right? But it doesn't matter. it's just, I think just, yeah, that I just think that hopefully whatever I've done is like able to give some inspiration to others,
Awesome.
After me. Yeah.
Good, cool, good answer. Yeah. And I know we really touched base with you. How did you get into the acting?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't, I don't really have a creative bone in my body. I say this over and over. I saw what they were doing with the film, and they just pretty much had a little bit of a draft. Well, they had filmed a couple of things, and I thought, oh, this is cool. Like this could really go somewhere, right? Did I have any idea of what they could do with it? No. I just wanted to see where it went, right? So then they hit me up and they said, hey, we have a character that needs to be filled, right? So they said, would you be interested in, filling that character? So I said, yeah, okay. I mean, I'll try it out. And from there, it just kind of spiraled, and I helped a bit with the lines. Well, a lot. Well, I think with the line, a lot, yeah.
Yeah, he definitely
As far as how it all came together, that was all them. That's why I say, I'm just basically in this thing. I'm just an actor.
He's being modest. As
I don't really. Yeah, I didn't. I mean,
being so modest,
I didn't really
honest.
contribute too much
either.
other than the acting, as far as I see it. But yeah, I mean, I always thought like acting would be cool. I used to do like kind of some acting when I was in school. And well, there's this
Theater.
It was that kind of thing. I always kind of had a little bit of a knack for it, but I just never thought much of it or really didn't want to pursue it, or I didn't really care for it.
Right.
But once they came at me with, hey, look, we have this project that we're working on. I remember that project, that PCH project. I said, yeah, okay, well, what do you guys got? And so at that point, they showed me the character. They showed me the wardrobe, which tripped me the hell out. But I was like, dude, I could totally put this wardrobe on and like we could do something here.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, that's basically how it came about. Like I said, I don't really do much, as far as I love music, I have a big knowledge of music. My girlfriend's super big on film. I've seen a lot of movies because of her. I would have never probably seen them.
Right.
So I definitely had a lot to like go off of. But I can never create anything. That's just, I've never had that, bone in my body to do that. So this was a cool opportunity to just jump in and actually show something.
That's when you lay back and you let others sculpt you
exactly.
into the character.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's a natural. He's a
Can
natural.
you just give us the best performance for an Academy right there about him being so much?
That was how. That's
okay,
how.
Now
good,
that was a
that's
lie.
how
I wrote
good.
this whole thing.
That's why that was that good. No, that's really why that was that good. Yeah.
Same question that I asked Henry here. When it's all said and done on the table, how would you like to be remembered?
I don't know. I'm gonna have a much simpler answer. Just as a decent person who was always up for anything, not afraid to try new things, and more importantly, always gave it his all. And everything he did. There's never been anything life has thrown at me that I've said, oh, you know what? Nah, I can't do this. I can't. Even if it's way outside of my element, I'll go full force. I'll own that motherfucker. So that's a main thing with me.
Yeah. And last but not least, Mr. Joe Castro.
I want to hear this one.
Joe, after everything's said and done, all the makeup, the horror films, the blood scattered on the floor, on the walls, everything you've done, you've given everything 110% already. Last moment of your life, or whatever you want to say, what would you like to be remembered by?
That's a great question. How do I want to be remembered? Well, I like what the other two gentlemen said, and they made some really good points. I personally would like to be remembered for what I have done for others. Well, the accomplishments that we have made for ourselves are great, but really and truthfully, we live on and how we make other people feel. And how they remember us. So, and with saying that, I would like to say, in the way that these other men that inspired me and that helped me become the special effects artist that I want to be, I would like to be remembered as a man who also gave other people a chance to do something that they would normally not be able to do, to be able to help other people pursue their dreams and chase their dreams. Because ultimately that is, when you have the capability and the power to do that, and you accomplish something like that, you really touch someone's heart, and I think that's how I would like to be remembered. And I think that's how the best way to live on in the memory of others, so
That's
people
awesome.
never forget my name and talk about me in a positive light. It's
Yeah.
funny. One of my greatest mentors was a film director. His name was Herschel Gordon Lewis, and he died in 2016. And but he was 92. He was 92 when he died. Lived a very full, big life. And he's actually the man who's responsible for directing and producing the very first slasher movie ever. It was called Blood Feast. And if you've never seen it, you should see it. Have you ever seen that movie Juno?
Yes.
Okay, in the movie Juno, the young girl is, she's kind of like seducing, like flirting with the older man, right? And they're at her place, and she says to him, "Have you ever seen The Wizard of Gore?" And he says, "What's that?" And he says, "You've never seen The Wizard of Gore? Oh, you got to watch it right now." Well, Herschel Gordon Lewis directed that movie.
Okay.
And so he directed this movie called Blood Feast, and he was this kind of man that gave other people the opportunity to pursue their dreams and chase their dreams. And that man, Herschel Gordon Lewis, not only made me a better artist, but made me a better man. And right before he died, like just a few days before he died, I just kind of like I don't know what you call it, like a God shot or like universal inspiration. I just decided to write him a real nice email, even though I'd known him for many years. And I just want to let him know that in the future, whenever his name was brought up, I would always speak about him in the most positive light, and always make sure that everybody remembered all the amazing things he gave to us and gave to our genre and gave to the world of cult filmmaking. And so that's why I'm doing this here right now. It's because in the name of Herschel Gordon Lewis. So that's how I'd like to be remembered.
There you go.
I love it.
Go.
I love it.
That's a great answer, man. That's a pretty deep cut.
Very deep.
But see, I cheated. I had time to think about it. He put these guys in.
That's fine, man. That's fine. It still counts. It still counts, man. Yeah, it's still good.
That's awesome, man. That's great. I'm glad all of y'all came on the podcast today, even though I did mess up some names and intros and everything to it.
And locations.
Shut up, dude.
Schedules. Names.
See, and that's why I'm in charge of all this. On other people who just lay back.
And how will you be remembered, sir?
Let's hear that question.
That's for another podcast, bro.
Hey, if y'all were making it back out to LA, let me know in advance so we can all hang out.
Hey, yeah. Let's do it. We'll be back.
Yeah, I'm gonna come down to Edinburgh. Let's make a movie.
Let's do it.
Did I just make a connection? Hold on, I gotta put my horn. Another connection. Yeah, buddy. That's awesome, man. I'm glad that's what it's all about, man. Making bridges between the artists, man, and making it grow, making their dreams come true. That's what it's all about, man. That's what I love about that. That's why we do the podcast.
And if no one said it yet, Chu, this is what you do for the world of independent filmmaking, and what you do for other artists is very important. And I just want to say thank you very much.
Thank you so much, man.
Wow.
Thank you.
Straight from LA, man. Straight from LA, man.
Yes.
But it's true. I mean, without your voice, we wouldn't have a voice. We would just be in our own little world doing our own thing. So thank you for taking the time to make us stop and smell the roses and allow us to share what we've done with the world.
Thank you guys for everything you bring out entertainment.
Thank you, man.
And the stuff, the makeup, the all the stuff, even the clothing line, stuff like that. Give you an opportunity to go back and really do something different for them to wear or stuff to try out, just to look and that good stuff.
I need someone with fashion sense to dress me. I don't know how to dress.
Don't we all?
Me too.
Don't we all?
We got you, man.
I think you have to exchange numbers here or find each other on Facebook so you guys can collab on as far as horror outfits or I don't know what you guys want.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, man. But then another thing for you, Joe, is that anything you're selling back there that you want to throw away and donate to the podcast here, we're glad to hang it on the wall.
There's a whole empty wall behind you.
As long as it's signed by you, I will put it on the wall, man.
I will absolutely think about that.
Even a decap head of Chew would be beautiful on the wall.
All right, look, you.
take off your legs. So maybe you can make something like that. How about that?
I don't just pop it off for anybody, dude. All right? All right? I'm not in my emotional place
Oh my God.
to remove my leg right now.
He'll do it in a little while when we're off the
Yeah,
air,
I'll
guys.
do it in a
He's
little
done it
while.
so many
Yeah.
times.
There's a picture of it.
No, you think I'm messing around? I'm telling you the truth. Anyways, well, that's another podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching today. Thank you, Henry.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
appreciate it. Thank you for coming out.
Absolutely.
man.
Thank you for having me. It
Joe,
was awesome.
Joe, not Roy.
Joe.
Castro,
Yes, Joe
man.
Castro.
Thank you
Yes.
for coming out.
Thank you for having me on the
Thank you
show,
for
guys.
having patience with us, Joe.
Oh my God, this is your actual first online stream interview, and I think it went bad for us.
It was bad on our
It was,
end.
on our end, your side was perfect. It was just us.
What do you mean he's in California?
That was
You
my
had-
fault, man.
You have one
Oh,
job.
my
Oh,
God. Anyway.
for God's sake.
Ladies and gentlemen,
But
Henry.
yes.
Yeah.
thank you. Any social medias you want to toss out there before we get
Yes.
going?
Yes. Social medias, guys.
Yeah. You can Vutuer is a VOUSTUER. That's it. That's how that's spelled. And then my own. I mean, my own doesn't really matter, I guess, too much. But Henrie Hill, HenrieHill. That's it.
All right.
I had to
Mine's-
look up mine because I forgot how to.
I was
Yeah.
Mike's Burglar.
Sounds about right.
BERKALURKK.
The Thrasher. That's what I'm gonna call now.
Why the hell did I put two K's at the end of it? I don't know. But yeah,
Right?
Okay.
thanks for
What
having us,
about
guys.
Joe? Joe, what about you?
Yeah, you can reach me. And my socials are facebook.com/joe.castro. You can reach me there every day. Send me a direct message. Say hello. Let's make a movie there. My Instagram is Joe_Castro_director.
Whoa,
There you go.
Okay.
nice.
I like that. And to close out the show, another hip hop artist from the RGB. I promise I put his music on today. Let me turn this up a little bit. There you go. You can probably hear it in a minute. Probably. Not too loud. There you go, on the background. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Chewy New podcast for today. Tune in next week because I really don't know what we got.
Who the hell knows what's going to
I
happen
don't know.
next week?
It might be interviewing Chew's leg next week. I don't know. Yeah,
Again.
Anyways, guys, y'all take it easy and sign us off, Chew.
I've been Chew.
And like always, guys, latest Gators!
Bye, Roy.
Fue de repente que te perdí y yo caí estando consciente, tan inocente. Y aquí presente el amor que doy es para siempre. Y sin querer te defraudé, yo lo regué y me aferré. Amando se aprende a no querer. ¿Qué vamos a hacer? Yeah. Tú estás con otro, extraño mi rostro. Retroceder la noche de ayer. Yo espero que te vaya bien. Lo tengo asegurado desde que te vi con él. Antes te rogaba, pero hoy te